third place in that. So what I mean to say is here we have to understand certain things. Number one, you write a script for humor or any speech. You have done some homework. You have collected information from different resources. Don't underestimate that hard work just because you did it club level or some level. Keep it safe. This audience may not respond so much as another audience may respond. It happened to me several times. For certain humor, this audience responded very well, but it did happen in other way. It does not mean that there was no humor. You present it in some other audience, they will love for extra also. Okay, I say same script for which I did win even third prize in 2017. Same script in 2019 in area contest. Every 15-30 seconds people were laughing, and at the end I got the compliment that we were unable to control. Before that some other humor came and somebody was saying I was about to shed tears so much for laughter. So depends upon the audience, the response varies. So don't underestimate your script. Keep it safe. If it doesn't work here, it may work somewhere else. So that is the one thing I will say.
Next question for both of you would be, so we discussed about several components like self-deprecation, exaggeration, wordplay. Which one you normally give more preference? Which will you think that will get more laughter?
For me, I
know it is a blend of everything.
Yeah, but my favorite would be somewhere around wordplay and satirical.
Can you give some example?
For example, when I speak about my grandmother, that's not going to be a self-deprecation. I have to keep myself on the upper level, and grandma's belief should be in the lower level. I have to comment on her beliefs. So those beliefs are being followed by some people in the crowd. So that has to be satirical enough. At the same time, I shouldn't make fun of them. And to lighter that moment, I had to cover up with a word plays. Because till my area level, there were no word plays in my script. One of my mentors pointed out that this script may hurt someone's sentiment, because my speech was about how my grandma believed if a lizard falls on your shoulder, that's it. That day she's going to lose one grandson. So she'll start crying with that day. So there are certain people who still believe that with whole heart. So how to make it more funnier, or how to make it simpler so that it doesn't hurt. So for that I have to make one or two word plays. One word play which worked for me was at the end, while concluding my speech, I said I asked many Toastmasters how to conclude this speech. They said conclude with a quote, and I am here with a quote. So that's how I played. That had no relevancy to the script, but just to make it lighter, I had to bring in some wordplay. My favorite was always satirical, and how to make fun of others in a funny way without hurting them. So that worked for me.
Balance is very important.
Yeah, balance very, very important.
Your focus.
Mine is also a blend of everything. It depends upon the situation. Especially I believe on body language and face expressions. You should have a strong content. If it is accompanied by appropriate body language, appropriate stage usage and face expression, that should bring the story even in front of the eyes of the audience. That will make them to laugh more. So body language works, and you have humor in everyday life. Okay, everything you can know down. Some humors are very simple. For example, for your speech and your speech, many people didn't laugh. It does not mean that doesn't have value. Note it down. Once you make the people to laugh in the beginning, after that, even the simplest humor will give responses. But without any humor, you give only the simplest one, nobody will respond. So don't underestimate. Keep it in your safe. Okay. But look for some valuable humor. Prime humor. Okay, you can save it. We get from different sources nowadays through WhatsApp, but don't use it immediately. People will remember it will go viral. But something you can save it. I have created a WhatsApp group in which I am the only member. And wherever I get the valuable information, not only humor, anything, some important for theme for ISC or anything, I forward it to that. Valuable information, even medical information, some real lifestyle, everything I forward to that. So like this, some valuable humor also, I forward it and I use it in future whenever.
You mentioned about the power of body language. Can you narrate how you try to highlight your body language in your sneeze speech? What is the exact title of your speech? And you mentioned that it is all about sneezing. Can you?
I have a question on that. Maybe you revealing it in front of the audience. Okay. So maybe we'll talk about it. Since you brought that, we'll talk about it. Okay. This topic is, as audience, when you're sitting there, when the contest master announces the topic, you laugh. Because you think something else, but he is going to express something else. Can you repeat the topic?
I punctured the balloon. Sorry about it.
Can you reveal your topic? Listen to it. See. Take a deep breath.
Yes.
You know it is coming. Take a deep breath.
Deep breath, deep, deeper, deeper, and then
Release with a loud noise. You know it is coming. Don't worry. Take a deep breath. Deep breath. What is it you will think as soon as it is announced?
you know it is coming, there is nothing you can do about it.
Nothing you can do about it.
Take a deep breath, deep, deeper, deeper, still deeper, and then release it. This was my title, and this was announced twice on the right stage.
When it is announced, what is that as audience you will feel? It is about fart. That's what we will think, right? Everybody started laughing. But he also did the same thing and sneezed, and it was a twist. And he was mentioning, right, to CK the suggestion, the humor which is going to make a laughter, and even simple thing after that, everything people will laugh. That is the advantage. That's what I was about to ask afterwards, but maybe punctured the balloon.
So you have strong humor and you accompany with appropriate body language. We should be very careful about body language. Exaggeration in body language will look cosmetic, artificial, over dramatic. That may not. It should be natural. Okay. And you should be serious. Never laugh at your own humor. Throughout the speech, you don't laugh at all. You make the people laugh. Okay. And whenever they laugh, be silent for a few seconds or something like that. And stage movement, everything appropriate. If it is appropriate, definitely it works because it brings the scene in front of the eyes of the audience. Okay. Therefore, body language is, in my perspective, it is crucial for not only humorous speech, any speech. It is very important. Apart from that, in real life, we come across many. Okay. Among our friends, we talk, we suddenly we laugh, and you are imitating somebody also. Okay. That also makes the people laugh. So you can small elements you can apply everywhere and combine it, and the strong theme should be there. And another thing, that story must be your personal story. Don't borrow it from WhatsApp, Facebook, or some other book. The theme must be your personal story. Okay. How I got the idea for sneezing, it happened to me that my wife told me, she and her friend were walking, not friend, neighbor. They were walking, suddenly my wife sneezed. And incidentally, that time one auto rickshaw crossed. He got scared, after a sudden break, and then said, no, then again, that's all. This is the real incident. This is the real incident. Then when she told me this, I kept on laughing. Then I imagined, then I wanted to make use of it. Then I developed it. Then I brought some more thing. And instead of my wife, then I changed it as a friend, my wife's friend, as a sneezing character, and then I added this character.
I mean, to make it lighter. In Toastmasters, we always say, right, there is a ballot, especially for humorous speech. If you are a first speaker, it is not going to work. And I'm sure you are the first speaker.
Yes.
Adil, I'm not sure about the number 5, right?
Yeah.
Right, 5. So, what is the advantage of being a speaker in the middle or the first speaker? Especially humorous speech. The audience will come there, open up on the morning 9 o'clock, and you are the first speaker, and everybody. So you make the light. So what is your thinking on it? If you are a first speaker, what will happen? What is your plan?
So, if
it is a day starting, for example, morning 9 o'clock the event starts and 9:30 is a humorous contest. I would say for being a first speaker is very, very challenging because you have to break the ice. Maybe sometimes MCs has to do the job, but sometimes when it misses, the entire burden falls on the first speaker. They have to, they might have to modify the opening of their speech to drop a bomb of laughter so that the next part of the speech would work. If I go with a typical opening that I have prepared, it wouldn't have worked. Comparatively, the laughter amount would definitely be reduced, whatever I have observed. But when you are in the middle, fourth, fifth contestant, it is very easy because previous 3 speakers will have set the stage and audience will be still afresh. When you are at the last, audience may be tired. Sometimes what happens is if the previous speakers of yours are like, he is like a champion speaker or he has created more laughter, then it would be a risk for you because they would expect the same level, not about the judges but the audience. But if the previous speaker has given an emotional story instead of humor or made the audience a little bit uncomfortable, again it will impact. So that is when I asked one of my friends how to control this. At the time of contest, he said these are the factors that you cannot control. You have to go with the flow. You have to keep your mind prepared because when we lose, once I said I was the first contestant in evaluation, I did not win. I told him that if I was the 4th contestant, I would have won. He said beautifully, this is what you have to overcome. You cannot complain on the law, the ballot system and all. Once my mic did not work in 2022 contest, my mic did not work for the little part. I said, mic did not work. I said, don't complain. These are the factors that we cannot control. Your script, your delivery, that is the only thing that you can control. But Lord, I would always pray I should get some 4 or 5 in between the middle order.
Yeah. What is your thought? You are the first speaker. Consider if you are a 4th speaker, 5th speaker, you would have won the speech. That's the feel you have.
Yes, it happened to me. In division, I was 4th or 5th speaker. Incidentally, my previous speakers, none of them did so well. So that was an advantage for me in the division level. But in district level, I happened to be the first speaker. That is the biggest disadvantage. Before that, I was very sure that I was going to win the first prize because based on the feedback I got from different people, I thought I am going to win. And I prepared myself a little bit touch up also I did here and there, preparing myself for the first one. But after the lot become, when I realized that I am the first speaker, I got disappointed. Because I told you, don't underestimate your humor without responses. Keep it safe. If you give strong humor in the beginning, after that even small humor also will work. Similarly, if the mindset is created by different contestants in the beginning, then mild humor will click. But you are the person to set up that mindset. It may take some time and you may not get response. So being the first contest was my disadvantage. Was number 1. Number 2, just before me, the event was stand-up comedy. Somebody, then I thought if it was some very humid lecture or something like that, and afterwards I came, people would have started laughing. But already they watched the different perspective of humor, and immediately after coming, that also was a second disadvantage for me. In the division level, I got right from the beginning itself the response was there. But in district level, for about one minute, the expected response was not there. So within that 1 minute, I got discouraged and I thought I am not going to win even 3rd prize. So that my mood was gone and I lost my tempo and everything. Then I continued. Incidentally, the response was there and it continued. So being a first contestant is not a favorable situation. At the same time, I had seen the first contestant has won the first prize also. So it is not that if you are a first contestant, you should fail. As Anil rightly said, you should be prepared for this situation also. Okay, how to manage that and change like that. So like that, you should start your humor right from the beginning itself. As Mohan rightly said, title itself. then your first gesture within 30 seconds, say something or do something which attracts the attention of the audience. There itself, they, hey, this one is something different, let me watch. So that curiosity should be created. Then continue like that. Okay. So
Today, as per the new rules, you are not supposed to refer to the previous speakers, but you can always try to refer something happened on the day or contextual. So, have you ever given thought of giving some accommodation? So, try to fit in
On
try to,
spontaneity.
on the spot humor beyond your spirit. Have you tried to?
Adil is very spontaneous, I know, but I'm not sure about you. Adil, I've seen a lot of his table topics, evaluation. He'll be very spontaneous. He'll be keen on watching what is happening and he'll use this in his speech. Is it an advantage? Maybe that is what I'm adding. Is it an advantage? Or how
Do you
careful you have to
take
be?
such kind of risk, or will it bomb? Or how do you?
It is definitely an advantage because even if I prepare a content about Toastmasters, I'm assuming that it will connect to each and everyone in the audience. Sometimes it may not work. But something that happened at the day of the contest, if I observe it and deliver it, for example, my 2019 speech, when I went to the stage, my opening line, it is a typical line. Everyone says, there is an opening and they say, good morning fellow Toastmasters, contest masters, and my dear guests, like that. So I wanted to say, fellow Toastmasters, contest master. When I turned back, contest master was not there. She went inside the hall. So there was only podium. So I said, contest master's podium. That's where the laughter started. That I did not prepare that because I used the same line in my some other division level. It worked, but for the district I was not prepared. But the moment I looked at her, she was not there. I wanted to manage and I said that. It worked really well. Some of the people said the opening was the reason that I won. Because it created. In evaluation, table topics, and all, I've done a lot of like spontaneous thinking that really connects, but at the same time it is riskier what you observe, where you observe, because for table topics, if you are going with some obvious observation, if the snacks was biryani, it was not good, the previous speaker could have used it. So you should not go with an obvious observation, but something that is very minute, at the same time it is very, popular.
I agree with you. Maybe in my table topic contest, I was keep on observing spontaneity and I was keep on talking about GRP. I went off the track. Maybe that is also we need to be mindful. How about you using spontaneity?
very true. You must use it. You should watch the things and really. I learned it long back. I watched one drama, a drama. So that long back. That time, few months ago, the Kashmir government was dissolved, maybe 4 or 5 months back. And that day, I was about to watch the thing. That day, evening news came that N.T. Rama's government was dissolved. That was the reality. When the drama was going on, in between somebody he is acting as a politician. Somebody will interview him. They will ask many questions, and finally you will ask, "Do you have anything to say to the people?" You will say, "I will convey my Pungal word." Then he said, "Even Diwali has not come. Why you are telling about Pungal?" I don't know. Till that time, my government maybe there. Yesterday Kashmir and today Andhra. I may or may not be there. So that was spontaneity. It worked.
Contemporary.
Yeah, exactly. It worked and it gave very good response. Same way, it happened to me also. That I attended one ISC division contest. That was a corporate, some security issues were there. You have to get OTP and then show the OTP in the main security and then come to main hall. That issue was I didn't receive OTP. Even though I was a contestant, I struggled. Like that, many people struggled. Okay. Then finally we somehow came to the main office, and there we were waiting for someone to send email and then send one more OTP and then this was experienced by several people. And during my contest, I was talking about the dogs. They conduct a conference, so everybody can take part. No registration, no OTP. I said like that. Then it was IS speech, but very good response was there. So I strongly recommend use that spontaneous event in your part of your speech. It really works.
Okay, now we will pause here and we will open the floor for question. Before asking a question, tell your name and the club name and your experience about participating in the contest. You can ask specific questions to the panelists.
I'm from Meraki, so I've not taken part in any of the contest. And as far as I assume that like I'm a humorous person, I'm not sure. And mono acting is something which I don't do. So I feel like that will be artificial or exaggeration if I perform a mono acting during the speech. So should I, or if not, like what is the alternative I can do?
So, in the beginning of the journey, as you said, you haven't participated in any humorous. Any style you take, that would be very strange, because when you come to the stage and you want to do some wordplay that you haven't done before, that is going to be feeling very strange. You may take it as a challenge, but what I would recommend is, if it challenges you, try it. So if you think mono acting is one thing that you're struggling, I would say in club level or club meetings, go ahead and try it. Because sometimes what happens is, I have an incident, conversation with my grandmother. Rather than enacting it, if I say narrate it, I said this and my grandma said it and I replied, I need lot of transition words, I need lot of filler words to fill that gap. But the moment it comes to kind of explaining it as if it has happened, it will be very easy. At the same time, it will showcase lot of skills that you have as a public speaker. When I in one contest, I used, when I was speaking like I used my grandmother in a lot of my speeches. At one point, my grandma used to have to reply to me that, okay, we'll go to this function. That is the only line that grandma had. I mimicked her voice. Okay, we go to the function. So this worked well with the audience. So somewhere it was a challenge for me also, but I tried it. So if something is a challenge, I would strongly recommend you to try it. I wouldn't say go for an alternative. I mean, in my opinion, I would say try it until it becomes the best skill of yours. Okay, answer.
It
Your
really works.
comfort zone.
Yeah. Expand your comfort zone.
Yes, it really works and it brings the picture.
Any other question?
Ambed.
Yeah, myself Ambed, I am from Meraki as well. So I haven't participated in any of the competition. What is the level of truthness in the story that we deliver in the stage? Like how much truthness? Like 50% I can mix the fake story, or 100%. Like if I tell the 100% fake story in front of so many people, will it be ethical? So what is it your take?
As already explained, exaggeration. Exaggeration is required for humor. But there is a thin line between exaggeration and tall tale. Tall tale is unbelievable story and people will accept it. Because that is the objective of that speech. For example, I was walking, suddenly Yamadharmaraja came on the way on this you can use it in a tall tale. But in a humorous speech story you cannot use that. But the real incident can be exaggerated. Okay. I was walking on the road, suddenly 1,000 buffaloes were coming in front of me. You can say that. It is not possible, 1,000 buffaloes. But still you can, exaggeration is accepted. And 100% reality may not be so humorous. It may work in your real life, but on the stage it may not work. You have to do some polish.
So you mentioned you had a speech where you had to deliver it. How do you judge your audience for being You can't
How do you
expect
judge your audience? As you deliver speeches, gradually you will understand the pulse of the audience. You will know for what they respond and for what they don't. Especially for me, I have two different audience. One is non-Toastmasters, one is Toastmaster. My Toastmaster leading speech was asked to deliver in a non-Toastmaster. I refused. I said, I am going to fail that. It will not work there. Because it included a lot of things related to public speaking. The dogs were making eye contact, walk on variety, all those things I included, which will not work in this thing. So, as you practice, you will understand. And the ambience also varies. In club level, even though if it is humorous, everybody will not laugh. Maybe one or two will laugh loudly and other people will just smile. But in the area, the response will be better. In division, it will be much better. And district, it will be super. Okay, because around 350 people are there. It varies. And you should be prepared to fail. Don't underestimate the value of your script or humor. This audience didn't take it so well, that's all. But other audience will take it very well. So don't underestimate the value of humor because you have done some homework, you have done some research. Nobody has done that. Suddenly you ask someone to come and give a humor, it will not work. But you have done that, there is some value for that. You selected because there was some humor, you laughed at it. You use it with some other audience, definitely it will click. That's why many people are afraid of disclosing their script. No, I don't want to show it to anyone. They copy. No. Deliver your speech before contest as many times as possible in your own club, different clubs. Deliver. See the response. Change it, customize it accordingly. Then deliver on the contest. Even the same audience will give very good response.
And those must observe from candidates. Last year I delivered humorous speech on a theme-based thing. So I explained a scenario and end of the scenario I cracked the joke. When I think about some other way of delivering humorous speech, my thought process is still stick with theme-based thing. How should I come out of it?
I have seen that speech which you have mentioned. It was really wonderful. I would say write more scripts because it's not about delivering the scripts. Once you step into this humorous zone, right, writing should overtake because the delivery will automatically, you will naturally become a humorous speaker on stage. But the writing has to, you have to put more time on writing. So if you observe one thing today, for example, we are all speaking here, so one person is recording the video, whether he is enjoying the meeting or not. So observe this one thing. Write a script, not for 5 minutes, not for 7, write a script for 1 minute. How will you deliver this scenario in table topics? So there are multiple things happening around us, right? Any number of scripts. For example, the moment I heard Nagarajan's speech, I started writing speech about my cat. Because you deliver with the comical things, right? I've never had a chance to write a speech about the cat or how animal things or respond. So I tried it. I haven't delivered it. So what I would recommend is write 100 scripts. Deliver 5 out of it. Whichever is, which works good or really good, whichever you feel comfort. The moment you start writing, you will touch upon all the aspects that you're not comfortable or you're not exposed. I write political scripts because my ambition is to become a filmmaker. Let's assume I write a lot of political scripts, but I'm not going to make it. Then nobody's going to love it, but I still write it because just to touch upon all those things that I haven't explored. So one solution I can give you is that write a lot. I hope I answered.
Any other questions? Maybe okay. One quick question from me. Maybe you would have experienced this. So how do you overcome as an audience, maybe as a speaker? How do you do it? You have prepared, you have mentored, and we have rehearsed, and when we go and deliver the joke, it bombs. How do you handle those situations? As you mentioned, 30 seconds I was lost, you mentioned, right? So how do you handle those situations?
You have to ignore and continue. Don't lose your tempo, just continue. It happens. I heard even from the Kalakapodia contestants also. He asked this question, how do you react when you don't get the response? He said, it happens. We were told that ignore it and continue that. Same way, understand that something didn't work in this audience. So let me go for the next one. Same thing happened to me in my district also. Initially, first 1 or 2 minutes, I was discouraged with response was there, but not sufficient enough to my expectation. So that one discouraged. But after that one portion, when I started talking about my dogs, then the response was so much, and it continued till the end. Then, even though I was disappointed, but I got very positive feedback from different people. Some people told that you are going to get first place, but I know I could judge myself that he is going to get first and he is going to second. And I thought I was not going to get even third. Incidentally, it worked. Therefore, if you don't get response, don't get discouraged. Be prepared for the failure. Your mindset should be there that I may fail. Be prepared for and continue with that. Same tempo. That's all.
Anything from other?
No. Go ahead.
What I would say is, as Sir rightly pointed out, I'll definitely continue, but at the same time, I'm a very weak-hearted person. It becomes like a trauma for me. When I go home, no, I wouldn't be able to sleep because I wrote well, I prepared well, but audience did not respond. So I'll be so confused. But somewhere as the time continued, I understood that okay, if this speech doesn't work for this audience, next time when I go to a certain set of audience, I used to prepare myself in advance that okay, this may not work with. Let's say tomorrow I have 2 sessions. Morning I have to deliver how to deliver a humorous speech to kids. There are like 8 to 12 years kids. Evening I am going to one Toastmasters club, so adults. Same topic, but I have prepared 2 different PPTs, 2 different content, 2 different anecdotes, which connects both. So when you get that experience multiple times that you have delivered some wonderful speech, but the audience did not respond, you will have backups. But at the beginning, as sir said, definitely we have to ignore that and continue. At the same time, we shouldn't forget which worked, with whom it worked, where it worked, because Bharati Bhaskar in our district conference, she rightly pointed out that humor will work here in Mylapore, it will not work in Tinagar. Humor will work today, it will not work tomorrow. So a lot of aspects will affect humor. So you have to understand that why it did not work, where it did not work, to whom it did not work. So that is.
One question related to mentoring. How strongly you rely on mentors' inputs? You take inputs from different mentors or stick to one mentor?
Coach wise, I have only one. They understand me really well. They know my skills, everything. But as far as the mentoring or suggestions, I used to reach out a lot of experienced Toastmasters. But I always have that gut feeling that whatever feels right to me, I'll go with that. Even if my closest mentor says this will not work, go with this, but I don't feel it right, I'll directly tell them. Yeah, I tell the same to my mentees also. I'll tell you 10 suggestions. Even if you're not taking all the 10, I'll not feel bad because you have to go with your gut feeling. That's what I do.
Exactly, I fully agree with this. But it is better to consult with your mentor and understand the different perspective. Sometimes it may be valuable, which you have not noticed. Oh yes, I can do that. And many suggestions may not be acceptable to you because you write your own script with something in your mind. So that same thing is not in mentor's mind. So his recommendation may be different. You don't have to accept every recommendation, but whatever suits you, you can take that. And definitely consult with your mentor. And especially, I emphasize that delivery should be practiced in front of your mentor. Right mentor. It is not necessary that you may have a permanent mentor. In Toastmasters, everybody has one mentor. It is not necessary you have to follow the same mentor for contest. For contest only you can change one mentor. You can take his suggestions. And whatever suits you, you can accept it. So,
DGM Nagaraj, not only a humorous speaker, he is also a great mentor. In fact, the last time a district champion, so he mentored him. So I have seen this person's speech at division level and district level, huge difference. Can you share a little bit about your mentoring experience? Normally, what do you see as a mentor? What do you see and what kind of recommendations you do?
I take mentoring very seriously. Suppose somebody wants to become my mentee, I tell them it is going to be difficult. Okay, don't think that just like that tomorrow you want to give a speech and today you will give me a script and I will give you something. No. Right from the script onwards, I will call you to my home, my house. Sit in front of me, this is not okay, that is not okay, and I will change the script accordingly. And then delivery, I emphasize on delivery. For this one, you will stand here, and for this one, you will go there, and for this one, you will look here, and like that, I emphasize on delivery, where you look, how do you pronounce, and what is the pitch of your voice for this, everything. Whenever I also conduct course for public speaking, I teach about script writing. I say that in the script, it should be mentioned, first 4 lines, center, that is the opening. It means from the center of the stage you are talking. Then your body starts, left, put it in the bracket in the script, left, go to the left side and tell one story. And second point of the story, right, put it in your script, right. It should be like a screenplay. You know what is a screenplay? Rajinikanth is tied behind a light post and people are beating him. That is the scene. If you see the screenplay, lot of details will be there. What dress Rajinikanth will wear and what is the lighting, how many people, if 17, they have to mention 17 people are there, what is their address and what are the tools what they have and what should be behind, everything is written, the details are there. So the finally the director has no confusion. He will tell everything, production manager has to make sure everything is ready, then he has to focus only on acting. Similarly, your script should be having everything, where you stand, what your voice should be there, how your face expression, everything, and then practice in front of the camera, shoot video, then after be evaluator for your own self. You say, yeah, this is good, oh, this is not okay. Adjust yourself, then recorrect yourself and go ahead. First thing, you are the best mentor for yourself. At the same time, you are the king. You have to get the suggestion from your ministers also. But ultimately, you have to make the decision. So get different perspective, make your own decision, and go ahead. Probably it will come very well.
Thank you so much.
Any
last
final
question?
comment?
Last question.
We were talking more about audience, like how do judges, what are the parameters judges have to judge it? Because finally it's going to be their call.
Judges, I don't know people will agree with me or not, it varies. The judgment varies, depends upon the judges. Actually, the judges should not judge based on the audience response. But generally people do that. Number one. Number two, it is my personal experience that if you have good fluency, good vocabulary, you win the contest. Even though there is no humor. It happened to me also. Okay. And one person won the first prize in club level and I won the second prize. In area level, I didn't win any prize. He has won the second prize, he went to division. Division, he didn't win even fourth prize. Okay. But the same script, with the same thing, then next time I won everything. So, it will vary. You should be prepared for that also. The judgment is not the final decision, final thing. You have to take it, don't take it very seriously. It may happen. They got carried away with something else. Many judges get carried away with the responses. If audience response is very good, even in ISC is not meant for humor. But if many people laugh, he gets first prize. That we cannot avoid. Okay. So anyway, go as per the balance sheet parameters, apply all the details and the practice. You will definitely win.
Sorry, one last thing.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Keep it short.
Okay, this is something in general. So, does using fancy word impact your speech? Does it make it more vibrant?
If it is understood.
Like, can you give an example?
So I couldn't say something right now.
No, you say rich vocabulary or something.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Sashi Tharoor kind of.
Oh.
Sashi Tharoor kind of vocabulary.
Yeah, if you really speak like Sashi Tharoor, you will not win. But the vocabulary matters. Okay, if you use the unusual words, it gives you marks. They get carried away.
Okay.
Any other final thoughts?
So that is question?
No, not question. Very final.
In general, I would say, as ma'am asked, for the whole ballot, audience laughter contains only 15 marks out of 100. So the rest of the 85% goes to the fundamentals of the speech, the delivery, effectiveness, your gestures, the manners, how direct you are, about the content, everything. So a lot of people think that, okay, it's a humorous speech, I can make them laugh and I can just escape from the stage, but never do that. Be strong in your fundamentals, work on all the aspects, and then focus on the humor. That will give you the edge. That is what I would say. And the vocabulary, it has never worked for me. I always go with these simple words. This happened, that happened. It worked. If you are very natural with the vocabulary, consider how audience are well educated, how it will reach. When I use the word flabbergasted, some of them even I don't know that word. One stand-up comedian used. So you have to understand whether the audience will understand that word, know that word very well, and then you can use it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your comments and feedback for all the members here to participate in humorous speech contest and sharing their experiences. Really, thank you so much for your time. Reaching early morning here. Appreciate both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.